Hey everyone, welcome back to week 2. Hopefully you got a good start to the term and are getting kind of settled back into the routine. I'm going to go over the assignments for week 2 real quick, and I just want to say hi. Wish I could see you in person, but here's what we're working on for week 2. So for this week, you have some readings that you're going to do. Hopefully you've had a chance to purchase the textbook. You're going to actually pick a couple of chapters out of section 1. So one chapter out of section 1 and 2 chapters out of section 2 to read this week for your reading. You will see also there's an option to pick a reading of your own. So down here under resources is the sample reading list by weekly question. So this week your questions that pertain to the reading are: what has the past decade of research shown us about the nature of STEM? How has this research contributed to our understanding of STEM education? So there's additional articles here if you find one of these to be more interesting in terms of your particular educational setting. And so you can actually substitute one of the chapters from either section 1 or 2 with one of these readings and do that instead. These I have not provided to you. You have to actually go and look them up on your own. So with that, so you have pretty much three articles to read this week for your reading. And then if we go back to our module, you have 2 assignments that are due. So with the reading, starting this week, you're going to reflect back on the reading you did the prior week, and you're going to actually synthesize that reading. So your assignment this week is a research review, and it's over the week 1 articles. So this actually is a template that I have provided to you to use to synthesize your research reading. And so you're going to kind of, what was the overall topic? You're going to try to find connections between the readings. So what were some of the main ideas? What source did it come from, and what was their perspective on that? So this table is just kind of a way to organize your thoughts and begin to connect them so that you can actually, rather than summarize, which is just telling me what is in the articles, you're going to actually synthesize the articles, which is kind of a higher level skill. And so you're going to, using the evidence from the articles, you're going to tell me kind of the state of things in your own words. So the synthesis should be no more than 1 page, double-spaced, so not a long. You can focus in on one aspect of the reading that you found that connected all 3 of the readings. The source, this references to where I got this synthesis brief. So that is the assignment that's due for this week. So you need to turn in the table and the 1-page synthesis on the readings. And we'll do a few of these, same format each time, and just over different readings. In fact, we'll do these mostly weekly. I think we skip 1 week during which you're doing your midterm, and then we have a couple more until we've kind of gone through the chapters in the text. So that's one of the main assignments for this week, and the second one is called a Connect the Dots assignment. Oops, let's go to the modules. And that one is, you're going to look at some different resources. So this time I want you to find a TED Talk or a podcast that talks about STEM leadership, and complete what is called a minute paper. Some of you may have used these if you're in secondary. Minute papers are familiar as a type of kind of summary synthesis. So the minute paper asks you to respond to a couple of questions. So what are the 2, 3, 4, or 5 most significant things you learned during the session? So this would refer to your podcast or your TED Talk. And what questions remain uppermost in your mind, and is there anything you did not understand? So this, uploading it in this format made it look a little wonky, but you should be able to download it and it should look more appropriate. So response to those questions, a minute paper should maybe take you no more than, I would say, let's think of it more as like a 10-minute paper. So I just want your brief kind of reflections on the podcast or the TED Talk that you listen to. And if you are struggling to find some, I have provided some options. So you can choose one of these options that I have in resources, or you can find your own that's really specific to an area of STEM and your leadership goals for the term. So a good source for that is Cult of Pedagogy. There's also, TED Talks on just about everything, but I could go through a whole list of places to find them, but you're pretty good at this point, I think, at looking up and finding resources. So those are the 2 assignments due this week. Again, we're just kind of learning about some important issues in STEM, what the research is saying, what's being talked about in the field of STEM, and we're building up to actually looking at what are the roles of leaders in STEM, the variety of roles, and we're going to synthesize that information midterm with a presentation on roles in STEM. And then eventually you're going to create an education plan that includes developing yourself as a leader in STEM in some area. So hopefully those are manageable. And again, let me know if you have any questions, you're not sure about an assignment, or just want to chat. I'm happy to get together and go over stuff. So I'm excited. I got to read some of your goals, and I think all of them are exciting. Some of you are actually really getting already a chance to have a lot of influence in your educational setting around STEM, and hopefully this class particularly will give you some more tools for how to interact in that environment. So have a good weekend, and I will see you soon on recording.